What is up, guys? Welcome back. This is the second form or second episode, rather, than back to this new Raw Thought podcast. It's me, your host, Josh Burmo, and if you didn't catch the last one, pretty much changed it up a little bit. How I'm going to do this. These episodes where it's just me one out are just going to be things that I've been thinking about through the week, or things that have been on my mind that I want to try and explore a little bit deeper, understand my way of thinking about them, really use this platform or this podcast as a way to, as a diary, as a journal to the things that are going on in my life. Hopefully you guys can take some value away from it, some thinking, some thought process, and, apply it to your life, or maybe even challenge it. So if there's things that I say in here that you think should be challenged or think that aren't right, or you have a different opinion, I'm really excited and keen to hear your thoughts on it. But I have 5 little topics or 5 points that I've been thinking about through the week. It's been a crazy couple of weeks for me. A lot of different shit going on personally, business-wise, and everything seems to come into effect with each other. And what I mean by that is, personal affects business, business affects life. They all seem to, feed off or hurt or, either hurt or propel the other forward or backwards. So the first point I have for today and is the topic of conflict. Now, conflict is a weird thing because, everyone hates to do it, but often it's the thing that lets us get past whatever the issue is that we're having the quickest. So my question is, I wonder what it is, or my thought process is, what is it that makes us hate it? Is it, the thought of hurting someone or the thought of being hurt? What is it? I don't know. That's why I'm trying to sort of understand and explore, because I know that I hate it myself. Like, if there's something that's coming up or, a hard conversation that has to happen, I do everything I can to put it off. And I don't know if that's just me or if that's everyone, but I'm not afraid of confrontation, but it's the whole idea of it, the anxiety that surrounds it beforehand, that makes us hate it, or that we hate it. That's what causes the anxiety. I am a relatively confrontational person in terms of I don't give a fuck what I say. I'm happy to say exactly how I'm feeling to anyone. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. I don't care if we get into a screaming match fight about it, which I know isn't the best way to be, but I'm just as real as they come in terms of the fact that I'll say exactly how I feel to your face and behind your back. Now, although that I'm like that, I still hate the thought of having the conflict. I still get sick to the stomach thinking about having a hard conversation with someone that I love or someone that I respect and appreciate. But the relief that you get after it, and after you just get it out, get it off your chest, it makes me wonder why we hate it so much, because everyone knows that, well, actually, there's a caveat to that. Everyone knows that we, feel better after having the conflict. The only caveat to that is that if you've handled the conflict in the wrong way, you will often walk away feeling worse off than you were. So I realized over, or I'm increasingly realizing that the hardest conversations the conversations and situations that we are trying to avoid the most are often the ones that we need to have the most. Now, I think that this is relevant in personal, in business, in life in general, because it's those hard things that are going to make or take us forward or take us in the direction that we're supposed to be going in. If you keep putting off having a hard conversation with your girlfriend or your partner or your mate or your family member because you're scared of, the repercussions, or you're scared of the outcome, or you're scared of how someone might react, it makes every single situation worse. I can say this from experience. I learn and I know now that as soon as there's an issue, as soon as there's a problem, the best and easiest way to do it or to go about it, to get it handled, is to just go and talk about it straight away. Now, if someone's done something to piss you off, if someone's done something that hurts you, you don't need to go and do that back. Because I know that two wrongs don't make a right, especially in these sort of circumstances. Now, in order to handle the conflict or to get through the conflict or get through the hard time, I think you got to do it with kind candor. Now, what candor is obviously, I'm paraphrasing the definition here, but what I believe it to be is to telling people exactly how they are or how they're affecting them or whatever it is. So, for example, in a work setting, candor might be, hey, mate, look, you're not pulling your weight. Do the shit you need to do or you're going to get fired, right? Now, kind candor is doing so or telling people how they are in a way that's empathetic enough so that they're not feeling like you're attacking them. Now, kind candor is hard because it's hard to get your point across or get how you're feeling across, because, trying to be kind while saying something that's probably going to hurt someone is a difficult thing to do. And even for myself, I find it very, very difficult to do. So going forward, I think, in life, in whatever I'm doing, I'm making the promise to myself that as soon as there's an issue arising, as soon as there's a conversation that I don't want to have, I'm going to have it straight away. And regardless of the outcome, regardless of how it makes me feel in the stomach, as soon as I have that feeling that I need to talk to someone or I need to have that tough conversation or that thing that may end in conflict or confrontation, I'm going to have it straight away. Now, I don't know how well this is going to work. Sometimes you need to give yourself time to think about it, but I think that as soon as there's something on your chest, if you can get it off straight away, things will normally resolve themselves in the way that they're supposed to. Stewing on things and letting things build up inside your head, build up inside your stomach to the point where, you are worried about having the conversation, that's when it does become an issue, because you've held on and you've played these stories over and over and over again in your head. Most of the time, if you come out and say the things that you need to say straight away, get off your chest what you need to, the problem ends up being a lot smaller than you thought. Keen to hear what you guys think about that. Do you guys struggle with conflict? Is it confrontation that scares you, or are you happy to have the conversations? And if so, what is it that you do to make these conversations or these times more smooth sailing? Let me know. All right. Number 2 for today. Pretty much a feed off our last one. And this is the brain fog of life's dramas. Now, this one is one that absolutely consumes me, hey. I think my biggest flaw as a person, as a partner, friend, business owner, is my struggle with compartmentalizing the things that happen in my life. Now, what I mean by that is being able to take a situation for itself and not let it spill into the other aspects of my life. Now, I know this is extremely hard for me given my situation, because I work, live, spend all of my time in the one situation and setting. I work from home, live with friends, live with my girlfriend. Everything's there in the one spot, so I can't get away from the things that are happening in life or happening in work or happening in relationships. So it seems to consume me when there's stress or when there's, whatever's going on in my life. It takes over my fucking life, and I don't know how to not let it happen. I think it's because the fact that I care about the relationships or care about the friendships or care about the business, that I let it affect me, or I let it, take up so much space in my brain, but I don't know how to get around it. I know that when I'm stressed, when there's hard things going on in work, I find it hard to relax in personal life and whatever. Now, I know everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say the brain fog. It's that feeling of just going, like, when you sit down and relax after whatever's, or you try to relax, and your head feels like it's about to explode straight off your shoulders. And I don't know what it is. What is that brain fog? What is that brain feeling? Is that my head telling me to get the fuck out of this situation? Or is it something that I'm doing to myself due to the overthinking? I don't really know exactly what it is, and I'm still trying to figure this out myself on how to get better at it, how to remove yourself from the situation, not remove yourself from the situation, sorry, leave that particular situation in that situation and not take it into the other aspects of your life. This one I'm asking for your guys' help. If you have this situation, or you are in a setting or in a lifestyle predicament where, it's very hard for you to remove or to, sorry, I don't know the word for it, but to, I guess, separate the situations in your life from the others. If you know how to do that, or you're good at doing that, or you've learned how to do it, let me know, because I need help with it. All right, number 3. This is a big one. Hey, I was driving up here. I'm in Brizzy at the moment, as you can see, different setting. If you're watching on video, that is. Cool little apartment here. As I was driving up here, I was thinking about decisions that change the course of your life, and how we all do hold the power of our own life in our own hands. Now, one little decision, or one decision to do something or to not do something, can completely change the course of your life. Now, this might be relationship, family, business, anything, the decision to pack up your life and move somewhere, the decision to take a job, the decision to leave a friendship, relationship, whatever it is, can completely change your life's outcomes. Now, if you think about it that way, it can be very, very crippling when you have a decision like that that will change your life forever. If you think about it that way, it can be extremely overwhelming. And I know that I fall into this trap of putting so much pressure on the decision because of how big a consequence it may have. And I don't know how else to do it. Should you take every decision the same? Should every decision have the same amount of weighting as the other? Should what you're going to do next weekend have the same amount of weight in your life as what you're going to do as a career? And if not, how should we as people navigate these hard decisions in life? Is it writing them down on a piece of paper, looking at the pros and cons of each? Is it just trusting your gut and knowing what you feel? Or is it just doing what feels right at the moment and hoping for the best? I don't know. But I know that it's a scary fucking thought to think that one little thing that you do or one little decision you make can change your life forever. Something to think about. If you guys know, or you guys have a tactic, or, think about it in a different way, let me know, because something I struggle with. I'm sure a lot of people do too. Or actually, you know what? Maybe they don't. Maybe you guys just make the decisions as they come and hope for the best, or just think, you know what, it'll be right. And if you do that, how the fuck did you get to that place? Because I'll sit on a decision for 3 weeks and still not know by the time it comes to make it. Maybe that's a character flaw of mine, I don't know. But how do we make better decisions? Or how do you make better decisions? Let me know. All right. Point number 4. This one is one that I really like to talk about. Actually, I don't like to talk about it, but it makes me excited, I guess. And that is the fact that I find so much peace in solitude. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Now, what I mean by this is, and if I'm not exactly sure the term, it's finding peace in being alone. Solitude, solitary confinement, okay? So, not solitary confinement, but solitude is, being by yourself, being alone, not having the influence of anyone around you. And for me, I find so much peace in just being by myself. Don't get me wrong, I love being around people, I love being around my friends, my partner, my girlfriend, my family. But there's something something about just being alone and not having to talk to anyone, say anything to anyone, that makes me feel so relaxed and comfortable and just cruisy. Now, I don't know what it is. I don't know if that's a hereditary thing, if it's in your DNA, if it's to do with your fucking star sign. But I know that most people aren't like that. Most people hate the thought of being alone with themselves for fucking a day. There's a study that I listened to where there was a group of people. They were given the opportunity to either be alone in a room with nothing but their thoughts, or take a hard electric shock, right? I think there was something like 85% of people, 85 to 90% of people took the electric shock. So that means 90 out of 100 people would rather have a hard electric shock or be by themselves with their own thoughts for half an hour or whatever it was. And that just blows my mind. I just don't understand how people are like that. For me, like, being alone by myself without my phone, without my thoughts, is the happiest time for me, where there's nothing else other than me and myself and my thoughts. So that makes me ask the question, what is it that's different with me compared to those people that don't like it? Is it a self-awareness, self-confidence thing? Is it the fact that I'm not scared to be alone? I'm interested to know what you guys think. Are you someone that hates being alone, or are you someone that loves it? And if there's been a period in your life where you've changed from being someone that loved being around people to then someone that loved being by yourself, what was it that made you be like that? I don't think that I changed like that at the click of a finger. I think it was something that happened gradually over time, or as I've gotten older, and more mature, and just enjoyed my own company more, that I'm happy being by myself. And if you're someone that doesn't like it, or tries to avoid being alone and being in solitary and not talking to anyone and not having anyone around other than yourself, I really suggest that you try it and force yourself to do it. Force yourself to spend days or weekends alone. There's something about the clarity that you find when you spend time alone that outweighs any other personal experience in terms of doing things with other people. Force yourself to do it. Try it out, even if it's for a couple hours at a time. See what you reckon. I reckon you'll really start to enjoy it after a while. All right, guys, last point of the day, and this one's a little bit of a lighter one to end the podcast today, but my point is, how fucking good are dogs, man? Like, as little friends, as companions, fuck, they're cool. Like, I'm sitting here looking at my two pups right now, and they're just the coolest things ever because they don't back chat, they don't talk shit. All they want to do is hang out with ya, get patted, go for walks, and just spend time with ya. I think that if people tried to be more like dogs, the world would be a better place. So my final remarks and my closing statement is I just appreciate all dogs. The best little creatures in the world, in my opinion. Loyal, trustworthy, can be annoying, but so can we all. Appreciate you little puppies. That's it for this potty, guys. I will talk to you guys soon. If you guys have any topics, questions, anything about the stuff that I've talked about, have any recommendations on things that I can talk about, let me know. I'm keen to hear from you guys. I'll see you in the next one.